Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. I'm excited to explore another place. So today I'm talking to Robin, which is a great name for springtime. So, Robin, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So, I guess the last trip you took was Banff. So, tell us about going to Banff and when you went
Yes.
and all the good stuff.
Well, I went to Banff the beginning of March,
Oh, wow.
and it was fabulous. I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. So it was a great trip. It I'm not a winter person. I usually like to go where there's a beach, but this time I traded the sand for the snow, and it was fabulous. I knew that going in the winter it would be really cold, and I don't like cold, but I thought it would be gorgeous. And it was even more gorgeous than I could have ever imagined. So I'm glad that I made the trip.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, how did you get there? Is there an airport near there or?
Well, the closest airport was Calgary. So I flew to Calgary and then I took a shuttle to Banff. And it was about a 2 hour ride on the shuttle to get to Banff. But it was beautiful scenery along the way. And they have transportation set up often going back and forth. It's like every hour that they have a bus that goes from one place to the other. So it was easy transportation.
Yeah, that's nice actually, because then you don't have to, if people aren't used to driving on winter roads or kind of concerned
Right.
about that.
Yeah, you really even and once you're in Banff, it's very walkable, like and very flat as far as the streets where the town is. Now, when you're standing out on the street, you'll see gigantic mountains around you, but you can walk, to restaurants, walk to shopping. All that is very near if you stay in the town. So you really wouldn't need to have a car if you're just staying in the town. And like we were in Banff and then we went to Jasper and we took a shuttle from one place to the other to get, because that's like a 3.5 hour drive.
Yeah, because
But that
that's,
drive is absolutely spectacular in winter. So, and I would suggest, even if you have a car, take the shuttle because roads are bad in some places and you want to see all the scenery. And if you're in a car driving, you're going to be worrying about the roads and you're not going to be able to see everything. So I highly recommend taking the shuttle system there. It's very efficient.
wow, that's actually really nice. And what a great idea for people that want, like, even, a 3 to 4 day weekend. How much time would you suggest someone spend going to this area?
Well, if they're just going to stay in Banff, probably 2 or 3 days would be funny. If they want to do both Banff and Jasper, I would say 4 to 5 days would be the perfect amount because you have that 3 hour trip between Banff and Jasper. So you need time, you need to accommodate for that. And it might take you longer if you stop and look around at different places and things like that. So to make it worth that ride, to me, a 3 to 5 day trip at least would be, and I would say 4 to 5 days for both.
So, what are some of the activities to do in the winter in the area?
Well, of course, a lot of people are there to ski, and I was not skiing. So, um, in Banff, I highly recommend riding the gondola up to the top of Sulphur Mountain. It is just like what a view. It's magnificent to be up there looking down. And they have the gondola and it leaves like every couple of minutes so you can ride up to the top. There's shopping up there. There's two restaurants, maybe three. I know there's two restaurants, and there is overlooks that you can stand and take photos, and it's just an absolutely wonderful experience. And if you go at night, they have a special thing at night where they have lights and stuff that you can enjoy. But I was there in the afternoon. So, but it was so fun. We were there, I think, maybe 2.5, 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
And I was not bored at all. I was like, oh, this is so neat. So,
Yeah, that's good to know
um,
because I'm not much of a skier at this point in my life either. It's like I
right.
I'd love to like, it sounds beautiful to ride the gondola up and like you said, just sit and maybe see the views or walk around.
Yeah, and out on their deck area where you could see things, they had fires and heaters out there going in places, and um, they had like a little igloo thing that you could sit in if it would be snowing to protect you from the weather. And if you go in summer, there's lots of hiking trails from that location, and we saw them when we were standing at the overlook, but we didn't go down and try to hike. Um, it was, a lot of snow on the ground. I didn't want to attempt to hike, but the hiking trail was cleared. They did have that cleared,
Oh,
at
nice.
least as far as we could see.
Right, right. And then
So,
Jasper, kind of the same thing. When you get to Jasper on the shuttle? What is it, like a little
right, the
town or?
town of Jasper, it's a little bit smaller than Banff, and there's not quite as much commercial things there, but it is very walkable if you stay in town. You wouldn't need a car. The thing you have to think of is how cold it is, how far you want to walk in the cold type thing. But you can get around and you can see things on foot. You really wouldn't need to have a car. Just dress warmly. And there's a lot of things to do in the town as far as shopping and doing different things. You can also go out to the Malign Canyon. Now, you would need to take a taxi or a shuttle out to that. It's not right in the town, but I'm told it's beautiful in the summer for hiking and spending time there, but in the winter, it all turns to ice.
Oh,
So we did the Malign Ice Walk, which is walking through this. They give you boots, rubber boots that come up to your knees, and you wear them over your whatever clothes you have. And then you walk through this, and it's all ice except for maybe 10 or 15 feet where there's water still running. So in that area, you have to walk through that water. So that's why they want you to have these boots that come up to your knees. And it was absolutely spectacular. All the ice on the walls.
oh,
There's
wow.
places where there's waterfalls that are totally ice, except behind it, you'll hear the water running a little bit. There's some little ice cave areas. So we spent a whole afternoon there from like one
Oh,
o'clock
wow.
until 4 o'clock walking through this canyon. Now, I will say it to get to the canyon from the visitor center area is a hike, and getting back is a hike. So it's something that if you're not able to walk well, you probably
Right,
wouldn't want to do that. Now,
right.
we had someone in our group who had had a knee replacement,
Ooh.
and they were able to get to the canyon and they were able to get back from the canyon, but they didn't walk through the canyon with us because they were fearful. There's places where you have to make a pretty
Yeah.
big step, and there's ice everywhere, and they were fearful they would fall and damage their knees. So, if you have a problem like that, you might want to not do that. But it's a one fantastic experience. I'll tell you, I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Oh, wow. That sounds fabulous, actually. Like you said, get some spike boots or something maybe to help you with
Yeah,
the
and the boots
walking.
that they gave you, after they gave you the rubber boots, they gave you these spikes that they were on like elastic that fit over your boots. So we had traction as we walked with these spikes. And none of us, I think only one person fell on the whole time, and they didn't fall walking. They fell when they were sliding to do something,
Yeah,
it
exactly.
wasn't, so, and there was one place, it was sort of fun. There was one place where you could tell other people it was like a hill, and where rocks, the ice had gone over it. So people were sitting on their rears and
Yeah.
sliding down. And so a couple of the people in our group did that. They had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I bet. Wow, it sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And the drive from Banff to Jasper is like none you have ever seen. I mean, it is just so breathtaking. And as we went on, I thought, oh my goodness, five, 5 miles in, this is so spectacular. How can it get more beautiful? But it continued to get more beautiful as we went. And it just, the farther you went up that mountain, it was just like a breath of fresh air. You just want to take it all in,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
keep it frozen in your memory,
Right.
and not forget how beautiful it is.
Yeah. So talk about the food a little bit. I'm always a big foodie,
Uh,
so.
yeah, I am too. And I was on this trip with the Pursuit Collection. And so all the restaurants that we ate at were ones that they own or part of their collection. To talk about fantastic things on their menus. In Banff, I ate at Brazen, which it looks like when you go in, it's just like a regular restaurant with a bar area, but the food was absolutely fantastic. One of the dishes that we had, the chef comes out, and of course, he pours something over it, and there's flames, and it's like a real showy type
Wow.
thing. And that was fun just to watch. And it was the ginger beef is
Oh,
what we
wow.
ate. And when they poured the ginger sauce over it, that's what the flame was. Oh, it was just fantastic. And their desserts were exquisite. I mean, everything was just so wonderful. And then in Jasper, we ate at several restaurants. One of them was a brand new restaurant that had just opened about a year ago, and it was called the Terra.
Mm.
And we ate breakfast there, and then we went back one of the evenings and had dinner there. And both meals were fabulous. Um, Dinner, especially, their drinks were fancy drinks, cocktails, exquisite cocktails, and they had lots of mocktails because some of us weren't drinking. So
Yeah.
they had things for both that looked special and fancy. You just didn't have
Right.
to sit there with a Diet Pepsi.
Right. Yeah,
You
exactly.
could have a fancy drink. And they had their menu, their desserts, everything was just wonderful. And we were eating the same things that would be on any customer's menu. We didn't get anything special. We just got what was on there. But I tried some new things. I
Oh,
tried
good.
bison. I had never eaten bison before. So I tried that, and it was delicious. I would order it again. Um, there was a couple other things I tried, but I think they were in the dessert line,
Oh,
but I
okay.
don't remember exactly.
Yeah,
I
because I'm
had so
not,
many
it's like
different desserts.
when I think about like Canadian food, it's like nothing really stands out. So I was wondering if it was if they had like some game selections or things like
Um,
that.
yeah, in some places you would see that they would have elk and different things. The bison was different because
Yeah.
I had never had that. Um, I'm trying to think. Desserts was mostly the same thing. Now, they're big fans of potatoes. They cook potatoes in every way you can imagine having potatoes. There's was potatoes on every menu. Other than that, I'm not thinking there was a lot of different things. They didn't have as many seafood offerings probably as you would normally see in
Yeah,
a
that's
restaurant
true.
in the States. But they did have some seafood, and I had salmon one night, and it was
Mm.
spectacular. And I think it was Alaskan salmon, but it was spectacular. And I also had, or someone with us had, I think, mussels that came from somewhere in the Canadian area. So, yeah, I mean, we had no complaints with the food. The food was wonderful. It
Oh,
was really
good.
good.
Yeah. So is Banff, I know it's been so many years since I went there as a kid. Is it like near, is Lake Louise in that area too?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is. It's very close by. Now, we went by Lake Louise, but we did not spend time at Lake Louise. We stopped and took some photos and that type of thing as we passed, but we didn't spend time. Now, we did go to Lake Pyramid,
Hmm.
and we had an opportunity to ice skate. The whole lake is completely frozen,
Oh,
and
wow.
we had an opportunity to ice skate on the lake if we wanted to. And a professional ice skater came and did a little lesson for us, and did a little show as we were there, just little added extra. for anybody that was there at the lake at the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but the lakes there, they say in the summer they are absolutely gorgeous, that they're, very clear and turquoise blue, but they were frozen over when we were there. So we didn't get that opportunity to to see that turquoise color.
But sometimes you're right. I mean, I'm like you. I don't often think about going somewhere in the winter, but if it's somewhere like this that sounds like cozy and
Yeah,
kind of have a combination of good food and views and things, it might, it might be something appealing to people to do
yeah. I
something
mean,
different.
when they talked to me about going there, I was like, oh, do I want to go in the cold? And then I just thought where I would be going and how beautiful it would be. And I was like, yeah, I'm in. I want to go. I'll I'll dress warm, I'll buy a new coat, whatever I need to do,
Yeah.
I just wanted to see it. And oh, I am so glad I went. I was just thrilled with
Oh,
the whole experience.
good. What are some packing tips you think for going in the winter? Now that you mentioned coats and cold
Yes,
weather clothes, it just eats up your suitcase sometimes.
yes. I would suggest layers because actually, when we went to Malign Canyon, I was hot. I had dressed prepared to be freezing cold, and it was only about 32. It wasn't, zero like I thought it might be. And I had, I took long johns and cuddly dudleys and all those things, and I had them underneath. And plus, I had a winter coat, and I had the coat, unzipped, and I was actually sweating. So, but it could have been as cold as I had anticipated, and I would have relished having all those layers. So yes, I would suggest dressing in layers, taking your, warmest clothes that you have. Definitely if you're going in winter, definitely a winter coat, gloves, hat, that type of thing, a scarf. If you're going in summer, it depends. I would, sometimes you can wear shorts, sometimes just, a long sleeve t-shirt would be fine, and a light jacket. As you go up the mountain, it will get colder.
Oh,
So it
that's
depends what you're
true.
going to do and what the weather's going to be. But yeah, I wasn't able to pack in a carry-on. I had to take a full-size luggage to get the extra stuff in. But and I recommend boots of some sort with you just in case you get snow. I was glad I had mine just for out walking on the streets. I was, glad that I
Well,
had the
yeah.
boots.
And oftentimes a boot too, I think too helps support your ankles, at least for me.
Yeah.
When it's a little icy or something, you might get a little bit more
Yeah, and it does
support.
it does keep you warm. And if you happen to have those spike things that you can get them on Amazon that you can put around for walking on ice, put around whatever shoes you have. If you're going in winter, I would take them. Now, as it was, I took mine. I didn't really need to use them, but had it got a little skiff of snow or some freezing rain, I would have been happy to have them while I was
Oh,
there.
yeah, definitely. So
Yeah.
were there locals that you met when you were there, or was it mostly tourists or
Um, yeah, I met some locals, and some people were tourists. I talked to different people that were, worked in the hotel that we stayed at. And when we were in Jasper, we stayed at a hotel that had recently been renovated and they had put an addition on. And it was the first addition in a hotel in Jasper National Park in 40 years.
Oh, wow.
So, because it's not easy to build when you're in a park. And so they couldn't build something new, but they added on to what they already had. And so that was a fun thing to see that, to stay there. And I forget what else you wanted me
Oh,
to answer
just,
there.
if you feel, well, that was kind of just about like meeting locals and stuff, but how would
Right. Oh, yeah. There was some locals. I would say I met more locals in Banff than in Jasper, even though I was in Jasper longer. We were so busy doing things when we were in Jasper, but I had a little bit more free time in Banff to stop in the stores and shop and just, meet people on the street.
yeah.
So, but everybody was very friendly. A lot of people were there skiing, so they wouldn't be around during the day. They would come, back late in the afternoon after having a fun time on the mountain. So,
Right.
and
Yeah. Would you feel?
another,
Oh, go ahead.
if you go in the summer, another fun thing to do in the summer is they have the alpine slides where, the
Oh.
ski people ski now, but then they put slides in for winter. So that's a fun thing that people can participate in.
Yeah. So it would be a destination that may be good for families too, then?
Yes, I think so. They had a lot of things for children. Like if you rode up the gondola in Banff, they had like an area that was just for children. It had all kinds of activities, hands-on things for kids to do, a tent, like an igloo thing for kids, just a lot of different educational but fun things that kids would enjoy. Um, if they like to ski, they would love it. Just seeing the sights would be an experience for any
Oh,
age.
yeah, I would
So
think.
I would say it's very family friendly, but it's good for adults and couples too. So one of those places that I think would be good for just about anybody.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like a great place. So I think you already answered if you'd go back.
Yeah, so I would go back, and I hope to go back in a different season just to compare, because I know how much I loved it in winter, and I can't imagine, but I'd like to see those lakes when they're turquoise,
Yeah.
and all the other things that you can do in the summer. So I'm hoping to go back in a different season sometime. Probably be a couple years till I get there, but I'm looking forward to it.
I know
Something to
there's
look forward to.
so many places to go and explore. So
Oh, I know.
this has been great, Robin. So take a minute and tell everyone where they can reach you. I think you have a website and you travel quite frequently, I understand.
Yeah, I travel at least once a month, sometimes more often. Um, I'm a freelance writer and I write for Travel Awaits. So you can find my writing on there under Robin O'Neill Smith as the author. But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at A Touch of Luxury Travel. And my site currently is robinoneillsmith.com, but I have a new site coming out within the next couple weeks that will be a touchofluxurytravel.com.
Oh, nice.
So watch
So,
for that. That's where all my travel things will be.
oh, great. So, are you going to be helping people that want to plan luxury type travels or more just to share
I
your
hope to,
experiences?
yes, I hope to eventually help other people to plan their trips, because to me, that's part of the fun. I get to experience the trip three times right now, when I'm
Yeah,
planning it, when I go on the trip, and then when I write about it. So um, the areas that I've been to, I know pretty well, and I could easily, help other people. So that's in the future. I won't be starting that immediately, but within the year probably.
yeah. Well, that is super exciting. Thank you so much, Robin, for your time today. And we'll look forward to checking out your new website and your books and your writings and all that you've got going. And
Hmm.
where's the next
Thank you.
destination? I have to
The
ask that.
next destination is, oh, let me think, Huntsville, Alabama in 2 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. That's coming up.
I'm going to the STS Domestic Showcase there, and then I will be leaving from there and going to Muscle Shoals for a press trip. So
Oh,
those are the
fun.
two places coming up next. But I have some place scheduled every month for the year. At
That's
least one
great.
place, sometimes two. Just
No,
depends.
that's great. And there's all these places I think in the United States that we forget as well. I mean, this was Canada, but Huntsville too. It's going to be interesting because there are things to do and explore there that we often forget right here in our backyard.
Yeah, well, they have that big space center. So, and I have visited it before, but there's a few things that I want to go check out again, because I just a little fuzzy in my head. So I want to go back. And the botanical gardens, I'm looking forward to seeing them. The last time I was there, it poured down rain, so couldn't
Yeah,
really enjoy.
that and the
Yeah,
barbecue. The last time I was in Huntsville, they had like a barbecue festival, which was a lot of fun.
they have wonderful barbecue there.
So we'll have to have you
Yeah.
back and share about Huntsville.
I'll come back anytime. I love talking about the wonderful destinations I get to visit. It's just can't say enough about them. And the small towns, I like visiting small towns and like hidden gems, places people
Yeah,
don't know about, because sometimes they are just the most fun and the most welcoming. So I just enjoy visiting them and telling other people about them.
great. Well, thank you so much, Robin.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.